Well, hello to everybody out there who is watching on YouTube. We're gonna wait we got like 2 more minutes. So we're just gonna wait here quietly, see who else arrives. All right. Well, I think it's about time to start. Welcome everyone to this last Raiku Fusatsu of 2023. Um, there's Jin Khan. All right. Well, we'll start again. Hello, friends. It's good to see you. Welcome to this last Raiku Fusatsu of 2023. Um, I'm glad to see you here, and uh, and those of you who are joining later, I'm glad to see you too, even though I can't see you. We will start as we usually do with just a few minutes of Zazen. You can, sit where you are comfortably. If you'd like to face the wall, that's good too. But it'll only be 5 or 6 minutes. So please be at ease. Next, we'll have a short ceremony and offering of incense. This is similar to the Zazen. If you would like to do prostrations during this, that's great. If you would like to just gasho, that's great too. So I'm going to try to do prostrations, even though there's a golden retriever laying right smack dab in the middle of everything. So we'll see how this goes. Well, again, thank you all for joining us today. I've been trying to have a little reflection about what it means to us to undertake the precepts, uh, particularly as householders. Even those of us who are home leavers, who are unsway or priests in training or priests. I think all of us here at Treeleaf are householders in some sense. And yet we do this kind of, this. We are engaging directly in this long line of Buddhist history where people truly left home to live in the monastery, to go and live in the forests and the mountaintops, right? All these old stories of what our ancestors did. And so I know Zhendo has talked about the fact that in some ways that was probably easier right? Like to go and live in that rarefied environment, to remove yourself from the red dust of this world, as it sometimes is called, may have been easier. And in some cases it probably was, but there was also, hunger and cold, and there was still sickness, old age, and death. So easier is all relative, perhaps. Often the Eightfold Path you'll see it divided up into sort of three sections. You have the sila, the virtue, and that is our right speech and right action and right livelihood. And to me, a big part of the precepts is really sort of falls into that basket, but they're also not separate from the meditation or mind training aspect, that right effort and right mindfulness and right concentration. Just doing those things, I think, without bringing in the sila, it's kind of a dead end. It might be good, but it's not the complete path that is the Buddhist path. And then, of course, there is the wisdom aspect, that is the right view and the right resolve or concentration. And I love the term Eightfold Path because they do all fold in on each other. Thich Nhat Hanh says, right, that they interbe. They're sort of a network, and all are important. But I think that, for me, speaking for myself, coming together to do this once a month is really important because there are bills to pay, and there are bosses or clients or whatever to deal with, and there are medical emergencies, and there are family members who need our help. We've got a lot going on, and a lot of those lots pull us into that world of, for lack of a better term, that human created world of symbol and number and value judgments of right and wrong and good and bad and all that stuff. And they're hard. It's hard to just be in that world but not of it, is a real challenge. And so I'm really grateful to have this experience and this practice of once a month or twice a month to come together and just recommit, to really say to ourselves, to review them, even as simple as just chanting them, reviewing them, and getting some strength from those as a reminder of the direction of our practice, even though we might not make it, right? I know I've talked before about the precepts as sort of a North Star. We can walk and walk and walk and walk and walk, and we'll never make it to the North Star. But we know where it is, and we know what the direction is. And even when there are significant hurdles in our way, there could be a mountain in the way, a river in the way, a whole ocean in the way, we still know what direction to go. That way. Every step that way. Except when there's a mountain in the way and we got to go this way for a while, we still know that eventually we're going to go that way. It's a good thing. I hope that each of us today can be grateful for the opportunity to come together and do this thing. To maybe make it a little easier as householders and family havers and job havers and bill payers. It's a good thing to do together. So, to get started, the first thing we will do is confess or atone, or confess and atone, for maybe the times where we did have to walk that way this month. And this confession and atonement, you have to really open up your heart. Not about guilt or chastisement. Just truly open your heart to what we've done, what you have done, what I have done. And then let it go. Don't grasp it anymore, so that we can start again fresh. The great precepts of Gautama Buddha were kept by all Buddhas. They were transmitted from Buddha to Buddha. They were received by ancestor after ancestor. Our great master Gautama Buddha transmitted the precepts to Master Mahakāssyapa. Master Mahakāssyapa transmitted the precepts to Master Ananda. And the transmission of the precepts has continued in this way, passing from orthodox successor to orthodox successor in one line. Now we reaffirm our commitment to the precepts, to return the profound benevolence of Gautama Buddha. We trust this to be the true reception of Gautama Buddha's wisdom and life. Respectfully following the approval of Gautama Buddha, we would like to devote ourselves to the precepts, beginning with atoning for past misdeeds. And at this point, if you could kneel, that would be the traditional way. If you cannot kneel, please just arrange your body in a way that feels right to you.
All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all.
And next, we will invoke the presence of the Buddhas. For this, I'm going to do prostrations. You can join me or just bow in Gesho after each Buddha is invoked.
Homage to the 7 Buddhas of the past. Homage to Shakyamuni Buddha, a person of this earth. Homage to Miroku Buddha, symbol of hope for the future. Homage to Monju Bodhisattva, symbol of great wisdom. Homage to Fugen Bodhisattva, symbol of great activity. Homage to Kanzeon Bodhisattva, symbol of great compassion. Homage to the successive generations of ancestor Bodhisattvas.
So for this part, you can just sit in Seiza or Zazen. I'm going to do the water purification ceremony. If you have water or a bit of greenery, that's lovely. If you do not, this is fine too. You can just use your fingers and visualize this process. This is a symbolic purification of our heart and mind. We're cleansing the past and taking an open personal vow to do better in the time in front of us. So we'll do 3 times the water across your forehead. We'll have a recitation from the Brahmanet Sutra, the Brahmajala Sutra. All of you disciples of the Buddha, join your palms in reverence and listen wholeheartedly. I would like to now articulate the preface to the great precepts of the Buddhas. If the members of the assembly will quietly listen, and they know they have done wrong, they will atone. If they atone, then they will be at ease. If they do not repent, their wrongdoing will grow more grievous. Those who have done wrong are silent, and because of their silence, you should know they are all purified. Worthy monks, laymen, laywomen, and all the rest, listen well. In this difficult age, when the lifetime of the Buddha sometimes seems distant, you should revere the Pratimoksha. The Pratimoksha is none other than these precepts. When you observe these precepts, it is like darkness meeting with light. It is like someone poor attaining a treasure. It is like someone who is ill being healed. It is like a prisoner being released from their chains. It is like a traveler who is able to return home. You should know that these rules, the Pratimoksha, are the great teacher for this assembly of people. No different than the presence of the Buddha in the world here and now. Thoughts of fear are difficult to produce. Unwholesome thoughts are difficult to give rise to. Therefore, a sutra says, do not trivialize minor misdeeds as if they are not problematic. Drops of water, though tiny, will gradually fill a large basin. A single instant of wrongdoing can lead you to fall into a hell of uninterrupted suffering. And once you lose your human body, you may not get another for 10,000 kalpas. Just as a galloping horse passes by swiftly, one's physical strength will not remain. The transience of human life goes beyond the mountains and the seas. And even if something remains for the duration of one day, it will be quite difficult to hold on to it tomorrow. Members of the assembly should each energetically advance their own minds. Be careful not to be lazy, negligent, drowsy, or arbitrary. In the evening, you must gather your thoughts and focus them firmly on the three treasures. Do not take as being a waste of time the effort to deepen your repentance for those of later generations. Members of the assembly, each of you in your own minds should carefully rely on these precepts. Discipline yourselves in the practices that accord with the Buddha's teachings. And we begin with the three refuges. Respectful devotion to Buddha, respectful devotion to Dharma, respectful devotion to Sangha. Devotion to Buddha, the Supreme One. Devotion to Dharma, the supreme purity and teaching. Devotion to Sangha, the supreme community. Perfect devotion to Buddha, perfect devotion to Dharma, perfect devotion to Sangha. And then we move to the three pure precepts. Today, I reaffirm my commitment to seek as I can in this body and life, to avoid doing harm. To seek as I can in this body and life, to live in a healthful and helping way, doing good. To seek as I can in this body and life, to live for the benefit of all sentient beings. And then the 10 fundamental precepts. Again, today I reaffirm my commitment to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from the killing of life. To seek as I can in this body and life, to live in generosity and refrain from taking that which is not given. To seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from misusing sexuality and all desire. To seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from false and malicious speech. To seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from intoxication in its many forms. To seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from unconstructively criticizing the errors and faults of others. To seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from praising oneself and judging others. To seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from stinginess in bestowing the Buddhist teachings and all precious things. To seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from all anger. To seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from disparaging the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha.
To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless. To transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible. To perceive reality, though reality is boundless. To attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless. To transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible. To perceive reality, though reality is boundless. To attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless. To transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible. To perceive reality, though reality is boundless. To attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable.
Abiding in this ephemeral world, may we exist in muddy water with purity like a lotus. Nothing escapes the boundless mind. Thus we bow to Buddha. Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reaffirming our commitments to the precepts, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha, Honored One, the historical Buddha and teacher, to the all-pervading and everlasting three treasures, to all arhats and bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, and their relations throughout the Dharma worlds. May our sincere vows to accomplish and live the enlightened way be realized together. All Buddhas throughout space and time. All Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha, Rajna, Paramita. Well, thank you, friends. It's good to do this together. I hope each of us can go out into the world now and live with joy and ease and openness to whatever arises in our lives. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Sakishi. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a beautiful day.
Ooh.